Well, hello and welcome back to Middle Age Moto. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm out for a Sunday ride on the Streetfighter. Almost called it a monster again. And I keep saying, you know, you can notice by the dash, but it's very hard in the video to see. The check engine light is out, and I didn't take the bike to the dealer. So let me tell you the story. I had plans to take the bike up to the dealer, and I was going to trailer it, drop it off for a week, and then pick it up. And we got some really bad weather. And, you know, to be honest with you, I was like, it's, you know, today's like the first sunny day in a week. You know, we've had some sun in and out, but we've had a lot of rain, a lot of storms and stuff like that. So I figured, you know, I'm not going to be able to ride anyways. And I really didn't want to load and unload it in the pouring rain and all that. So I decided to just hold off and, you know, go next week or the week after, and all's good. But you know, I've mentioned in other videos, the guy inside me always wants to take stuff apart and figure out why stuff does what it does. And so I started digging in and doing some research. You know, I was going online, I was trying to, you know, once I started doing some research, I realized how poorly designed the flapper valve or the valve system for the emissions and stuff like that on the exhaust system is on these bikes. There's basically a servo up right underneath the wings on the right hand side, and cables run down into the exhaust, and there is a flapper valve in there that the servo opens and closes. I'm under the assumption from the reading, but to be honest with you, there's not a ton of information. And actually the information I found was on a Panigale. There's not, you know, but it's the same engine and they're pretty much the same flapper valve setup. So I did some research, and then found out that, you know, that valve's in there, and there's an adjustment that needs to be done. There's all kinds of different things that happen to it, and it's a common problem. You go on the forums from way back to 2018, people are getting check engine lights because of that, and their dealer either replaces a cable, adjusts it, and it's really disappointing that, you know, in today's day and age, something so crappy, a mechanical, you know, I got a hydraulic clutch and all that, a mechanical system to flip a valve, and, you know, if it's not perfect, it throws a code, and I mean, it's just, so I started doing more research, and, you know, I've never put aftermarket exhaust on a bike like this, or a more expensive bike with all these emissions. You know, before you put it on, you jet the carbs and you roll, or you get a tune and you're done. Well, these bikes, you know, you're getting the tune still and all that, but there's a thing called Servo Buddy, and you know, that's just one of the brands. But basically what it does is it tells the ECM that everything's good, and you can just disconnect that and wire that valve open, and people just don't have any issues whatsoever. Bike runs fine, and you never get that light again, check engine light based on that. But I'm not into, you know, bastardizing my bike, you know what I mean? I'm just, you know, I don't want to get down there and start wiring stuff open on a brand new bike and doing all this kind of stuff. So I was kind of thinking, you know, what can I do? You know, can I get a Servo Buddy and, you know, wire it open, and will that prevent it? So after digging in even more and more, I found out, because I was concerned, because some people had said their bike has gone into limp mode, and, you know, that's something I don't really want to have to deal with. You know, check engine light, it was running fine when I did that. But what I found was, in some cases, the valve was stuck shut, and it would force the bike to go into limp mode, and then you got to go get it fixed. But a lot of those cases was because it was gummed up and it seized. Because after reading and looking, and it's hard to find stuff, it really is. The valve is sprung to stay open, and the servo closes the valve. That's, in my best research, that's what I'm getting. which is good. But then I've heard that the spring is relatively light, so under full acceleration or hard acceleration, it could close that valve. I don't know the logistics. I cannot find the exact reason for that. If anyone knows, throw it in the comments. I don't know if it's to recycle air. I don't know if it's an emissions type thing or heat exchange or what. You know, I know on vehicles, on cars, when they're cold, there'll be certain valves that will heat up the engine faster to make sure that, you know, the emissions is where it needs to be. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. Now, I followed the cables, and they look like they go underneath the exhaust shield, and it's very hard to see where this valve is, and I wanted to try to locate the valve. So as I'm digging around, I find this guy, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was a Panigale, and he was replacing the exhaust on his Panigale. He was replacing the exhaust on his Panigale, and he got a check engine light. So he bought a little auto scanner off of Amazon, and then he found a adapter cable down to the Ducati data port from that normal scanner, from the auto scanner, which has the wide plug, and he was able to pull codes and clear codes. So I said, well, let me see what these things cost. They probably cost a fortune. So I got on there, and they're like, you know, I spent $58, and I got one that was, you know, not the cheapest, but not, you know, by any means expensive at 58 bucks. So I got the cable, you know, the step-down cable to the Ducati data port, and I got the scanner. And yesterday, I hooked the scanner up. Now, I wish I videoed it, because you know, I'll throw the code up that I got on the screen. But if the light comes back on, I've been out riding for about, you know, 15 miles, and I still don't have a light on. But I guess it's got to throw a code several times before the light comes on. But I hooked the scanner up, turned the key on, I analyzed the system, found one fault code, looked at the code, and it was exhaust valve bank A, but I'll put it up, you know, like I said, so you can read it verbatim. And that just confirmed, because to be honest with you, I'm saying this now, but in the back of my mind, I was like, damn, did I do something when I changed the damn oil? And then I researched, you know, was trying to research that after the service light comes on, if you go over a certain miles, does that check engine light then come on? Which is not the case. Service light is still on, but that's all right. I'm starting to really enjoy it. It's kind of a little friend that I see in the morning. Now I'll get it up there and get it serviced, you know, and if this continues, I wanted to get them to fix it, but I'm going to make some decisions. I'm not going to deal with this for the rest of my ownership of this bike. So I pulled the code, and then I went through, and then you can clear the code instantly, check engine lights off, and then you're good to go. Disconnect. It's kind of funny that the data port is underneath the seat, and I thought it was going to be a nightmare. This seat is bolted right to the gas tank, and it's two small Allen screws in the back, and it hooks in the front. You pop the seat out, boom, you're done, you're good to go. It's pretty cool. Came off in a matter of a minute or two, which was awesome. But the code's cleared, and I had mentioned, I believe in a video, that I found, excuse me, I thought it was a wire. I thought it was an electronic wire, but it's actually a cable, kind of like similar to a cable on a bicycle. You know, with the plastic housing on the outside and then just a steel cable. It looks identical. Had burned through or rubbed through on my physical exhaust, on my shroud, and it was stuck against it. Now, when looking in there, it looks like there's a metal sheathing, so I really don't think that would cause that cable to bind, but maybe it was the angle of the cable or something. It just bound that cable. But I'm gonna mess with this even more if it comes back on, because this is probably something, there's guys that have had this happen multiple times, and there's guys that they've replaced the cable and nothing has happened. So I don't know. but I was just really concerned that I did something when I changed the oil, and you know, because it was over full, and I did start the bike, you know, I did run the bike with it over full, and I heard that it'll blow back into the air box, and I thought maybe there's a mass airflow sensor or something like that in the air box. You know, I don't know. I mean, I was just, my mind was raging. So I was real close to taking the little air box off and pulling the filter out to see if the filter had oil in it. But I decided to go this route, and I'm happy I did. So, as of now, I'm not heading to the dealer anytime immediate. I'm going to ride the bike a bit, and I'm going to enjoy it. I am starting to really get the itch for the CRF 300L. Just get another bike, because you know, when this bike gets down, it's nice to kind of have another bike, you know, it's just pretty cool. So we'll see what happens there. And I just want to thank you. I don't want to ramble on any further. I just wanted to touch base, and I want to say welcome to all my new subscribers. Keep the comments coming. I love the comments. I mean, I'm getting comments on some of my old videos. You know, my channel is like tripled in size since I got this, and there's even people commenting on some of my old monster videos. So I guess it's just a time thing, that it takes some time for it to grow. You know, I'm a powerhouse at like 74 subscribers, but I appreciate each and every one of you. And the comments are welcome. I read every single one of them. I may not respond to every one of them, but you'll get a, you know, you'll get a like or a heart or something. I do read everyone, and I've gotten some great information. So that's what I'm trying to build here, build a community where we can all kind of share information. And as I find it, I'm a tinker type person. You know, I'm not sure if any of the people that are subscribed now are into, you know, dual sports or the CRF 250L. You may not give two shits about them, and just be a straight up, you know, Street Fighter type of person. But I'm going to mix it up a little bit, do some mixed videos, maybe even try to do one CRF and one Street Fighter video a week. And I'm going to do some trail riding and some stuff like that. So thank you very much, and I hope you have a wonderful week next week.